Hi friends. So today I'm going to talk about why the Master of Science or the MS is the optimal degree. So let's look at some other degrees we often discuss, specifically the Bachelor's Degree, the Master's Degree and the PhD. Now if we look at the Bachelor of Science degree at a typical US school, it's a 4-year degree. And essentially also if we look around the world, Bachelor of Technology degrees or BE degrees are typically 4-year degrees. So as far as the engineering fields are concerned, we essentially have a 4-year bachelor degree system. Now, if we go deeper into this bachelor's degree, there are 120 credits. So this 120 credits gets divided into 40 courses at 3 credits each. So essentially, sometime you will have a situation where you have some 1 credit course or some 4 credit course or some 2 credit course, but in general most of the courses are 3 credits. And so if we use this simple math here, to do a Bachelor of Science degree you need to do 40 courses at 3 credits each. So if we divide this in 4 years, the 40 courses becomes 10 courses per year, which typically comes out to 5 courses per semester, assuming the year has 2 semesters. So essentially that's a typical load of a full-time student, which is 5 courses per semester. And you essentially have to do this degree. You have to complete this 120 credits over a period of 4 years. Sometimes people may take more time, sometimes people may take less time, as the case may be. Now if we go deeper into this degree, we will see that the first and second year are largely spent in what I would call filler courses and gatekeeper courses. So filler courses are courses which are essentially put into the curriculum because there are a large number of universities and departments in the universities, and these departments need some courses for their professors and their teachers to do something. So essentially you have a plethora of subjects from which you can choose. You can choose philosophy, you can choose Greek literature, you can choose Russian, you can choose psychology, you can choose sociology and various subjects. So though you may be a student in computer science or in mathematics, you have to take a large number of these courses, and essentially the aim here is to broaden the person. Now this is all good and fine, but the problem is you are spending time and tuition money in completing these courses. Now beside these filler courses which are there for you to take, there are also these so-called gatekeeper courses. And the gatekeeper courses are actually courses which are relevant to your major, or I would say they are perceived to be relevant to your major by the system. And these courses are presented to you to essentially check out your capability on doing this discipline. So in many of the STEM fields you have calculus 1, 2, 3, you may have differential equations, you will certainly have a course on matrix theory, you may have a course on probability and statistics, discrete math, logic and so on. Now what happens with these gatekeeper courses is that many of the students start buckling under the severe pressure which gatekeeper courses and the draconian professors who are often responsible for the gatekeeper courses put on them. So one of the negative effects of these gatekeeper courses is that people can drop out of college, they can sometimes change their major to stay in college, and these are both situations which are not very good for your long-term future, because you need to keep in mind as to whether the subject you are studying in college is actually going to lead you to a job sometime down the road. So essentially that's the basic bachelor's degree, and first 2 years are spent in these fillers and gatekeeper courses, and then the next 2 years is where you actually study your discipline subjects. So these are the so-called 300 and 400 level of courses, and I would say this is where most of the subject matter is taught in any discipline, be it mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, computer science and so on. Now in contrast, if we look at the master's degree, you essentially have much lesser coursework in terms of credits and much lesser course requirement. So if we look at a typical master's degree, you will require 10 courses here. So theoretically this degree could be done in 1 year. You could take 5 plus 5. But what often happens is that master's courses are very dense. They are much more intense in terms of the amount of material covered in them. So mostly people take 2 years to finish their master's degree. They may take 3 and 3 and 3 and 1 coursework, something like that, or they may take a 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus a semester spent in doing research. Now essentially if you are doing a thesis option, you may have to take 8 courses and then some of the credits will be there for thesis. This of course keeps varying from university to university. Now the important fact is that when you do the MS degree, which you can finish in 1 to 2 years, you typically only do the courses which are required by your department. So if you are doing a master's in computer science and you have decided to specialize in machine learning, then you essentially take some courses in machine learning and you may take some adjacent courses which strengthen aspects of machine learning, such as maybe databases or mathematics. Similarly, if you are doing a Master of Science in mechanical and you decide to do specialization in fluid mechanics, you may largely concentrate on courses in fluid mechanics. You may take viscous fluid dynamics, you may take incompressible fluid flow, you may take compressible fluid flow, and so on. So essentially what happens here is that the amount of knowledge which you gain in a master's degree is disproportionately large compared to the amount of knowledge which you actually gain in the BS degree. The BS degree, a large part of it is spent in filler and gatekeeper courses. A few courses are taken to teach you the core discipline, and a lot of time is actually wasted in loitering around the university, and not a whole lot of research content is also taught. So from this paradigm, I would say that the master's degree packs a much greater punch for the time and money you put in, and so it's a very useful degree for most people. Now what happens if you do the PhD? Now the PhD typically concentrates only on research. So you may have a research training program, you may have a few additional courses you need to take after your master's degree, but essentially the PhD is given to you for defending your dissertation in front of a group of professors. And essentially the PhD is more like a theological degree. You essentially become like a clergy of your field, and therefore this is a step which you need to take after a great deal of thought, whether you want to be a clergyman of fluid mechanics or machine learning or any other subject. So I would say that looking at these degrees, you can clearly see that the Master of Science is probably the best bang for the buck for most people. Of course, unfortunately, you do have to do the Bachelor of Science degree to do the Master of Science degree. So my suggestion is do the Bachelor of Science degree as fast as possible. Try to complete the filler and gatekeeper courses by giving some kind of tests, such as you can give the AP exams, you can give CLEP and so on, or do many of these courses in a community college or some local college, and then try to use the big university to do most of the courses in the 3rd year and the 4th year, which are the important courses in your subject. So if you are studying mechanical engineering, then you can study all the courses such as mechanics of materials, mechanics of fluids, thermodynamics, all these courses, machine design and so on, toward the 3rd and 4th year of your college. So that's when you are going to get real value for all the money you are putting in. So this was my take on a comparison of the degrees here, which are typically given in a research university or college, and I hope you benefit from this video, and I will see you sometime soon. See you then.